Theodore Schwan, July 9, 1841, May 27, 1926, was a Union Army officer during the American Civil War who received the Medal of Honor for his actions at the Battle of Peebles Farm. He also served with distinction during the Spanish-American and Philippine-American Wars. Early life and Civil War. Theodore Schwan was the son of Reverend Georg Heinrich Christian Schwan and his second wife, Dorette Pohlmann, and the half-brother of Reverend Heinrich Christian Schwan. Schwan was born in Walsdorf, now a neighborhood in the city of Bremerhaven, Bremen, Germany, but in 1841 part of the Kingdom of Hanover, and received his initial schooling in Germany. He immigrated to the United States in 1857, arriving at New York on the 30th of May 1857 on the sailing ship Ariel. On the 12th of June 1857, Schwan enlisted as a private in the regular army, 4 weeks before his 16th birthday, and served in the 10th U.S. Infantry. When the Civil War broke out, he served with his regiment, rising from private to quartermaster sergeant by October 1863, when he was commissioned as a second lieutenant. He was promoted to first lieutenant in April 1864 and later received the Medal of Honor for dragging a wounded Union officer to the rear and preventing him from being captured at the October 1864 Battle of Peebles Farm. After the war he remained in the regular army after the close of the Civil War and was promoted to captain on March 14, 1866. From May 1866 to May 1867 he was commanding a company as chief quartermaster for the Quartermaster Department of the District of Minnesota at Fort Snelling, Minnesota. He was then on leave of absence from May to October, 1867, commanding a company at Fort Snelling, Minnesota to April, 1869, unassigned May, 1869, and then on duty at Galveston, Indianola, Corpus Christi, and Jefferson, Texas, until December 1869. Indian Wars. Captain Schwan was assigned to 11th U.S. Infantry Regiment December, 1869, commanding Company G, on frontier duty at Fort Griffin, and the sub-post Fort Phantom Hill, Texas, 1870-73, the intervening 10 months having been spent on sick leave of absence. During the Red River War, 1874-76, he again was commanding Company G, at Fort Griffin. On February 5, 1874, detachments of Companies A and G, 11th Infantry, attacked a camp of hostile Quahadee Comanches on the Double Mountain Fork Brazos River, Texas, killed 11 Indians and captured 65 horses. 1 enlisted man was wounded in the fight. In August and September, 1876, he was sent with the 11th Infantry from the Department of Texas to the Department of Dakota for field service in connection with the Great Sioux War of 1876-77 in the Dakota Territory and in Montana. Captain Schwan served at Cheyenne River Agency, DT, Fort Custer, MT, Fort Bennett, DT, and Fort Sully, DT, 1876-80. On May 16, 1877, Lieutenant General Sheridan directed his brother Lieutenant Col. Michael V. Sheridan to retrieve the bodies of Custer and his officers. On June 20, 1877, about 7 o'clock Company I, 7th Cavalry, Captain Nowlin, reached the north bank of the Yellowstone, having been detached as the escort of Colonel Sheridan, who was to proceed to the Little Bighorn for the purpose of securing the bodies of the officers who fell in the Custer fight. Later in the day Colonel Sheridan passed up the river on the steamer Fletcher, being accompanied by Captain Schwan, Company G, 11th Infantry, headquarters of the Military District of Dakota Territory. March 15, 1878, designated Captain Theodore Schwan to act as Indian agent at the Cheyenne Agency, Dakota Territory. On June 20, the Commissioner of Indian Affairs instructed Captain Schwan to form an Indian police force on the Cheyenne River Agency in order to reduce the need of a military force at the agency. He was then on recruiting service at David's Island, NY Harbor 1880-82. Captain Schwan was an instructor on the staff of the United States School of Application for Cavalry and Infantry, at Fort Leavenworth, Ken. 1882-86. Adjutant General's Department Captain Theodore Schwan, of the 11th Infantry, to be Assistant Adjutant General with the rank of Major, July 6, 1886, Vice Benjamin, deceased. Maj. Now Lieutenant Col. Theodore Schwan, Assistant Adjutant General, detailed as Acting Inspector General, Department of Dakota, July 17, 1894, per Special Orders, Number 140, Adjutant General's Office, 1894, relieved April 30, 1895, per Special Orders, Number 75, Adjutant General's Office, current series, Lieutenant Colonel and Assistant Adjutant General, February 19, 1895. He was promoted to Colonel and Assistant Adjutant General, May 18, 1898. The Adjutant General's Department was then Adjutant L. Brig General H.C. Corbin. Assistants, Col. Theodore Schwan, Col. Those. Ward, Lieutenant Col. W. H. Carter, Maj. H.O.S. Highstand, Maj. J. A. Johnston and Maj. W. A. Simpson. 2 weeks before his last promotion in the regular army, he was appointed Brigadier General of Volunteers, and in accordance with the Act of Congress, approved March 2, 1899, he will retain that rank until July 1, 1901. He was brevetted several times. Spanish-American War. When the Spanish-American War erupted, Lieutenant Col. Schwan was appointed Brigadier General of Volunteers and Colonel in the regular army in May 1898, making him one of the only foreign-born generals in the Spanish-American War. He assumed command of the 1st Division of the 4th Army Corps, which had mustered in at Mobile, Alabama before moving to the Tampa Assembly area in early June in Miami, Florida on June 20. That unit was exchanged with the 1st Division, 7th Army Corps on June 27, and at the beginning of July, Schwan was relieved of that command by the War Department, freeing him for service with the Puerto Rican invasion. Schwan assumed command of the Independent Regular Brigade and sailed for Puerto Rico. The brigade landed at Guanica on July 31 and moved west along the coast. On August 10, his brigade won the Battle of Silva Heights. The next day, he entered the town of Mayugas, Puerto Rico. The Spanish moved up for another attack on Schwan, but a ceasefire was enacted before either side attacked. Allegedly during the ceasefire, Schwan's troops engaged in the first game of baseball to be played in Puerto Rico. Philippine-American War. With the fighting on Puerto Rico over, General Schwan was transferred to the Philippines, where he became Chief of Staff of the 8th Army Corps, which had become engaged in the Philippine-American War. He personally directed the 1st Cavalry Expedition, then took command of the 2nd Brigade in the Corps' 1st Division. In this era, brigade and division numbers were repeated from one corps to another during the 2nd Cavalry Expedition. Retirement and death. He retired from the Army in 1901 and was made a Major General of Regulars and put on the retired list. Theodore Schwan died in 1926 and was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Medal of Honor Citation. Rank and Organization. 1st Lieutenant, 10th U.S. Infantry. Place and date, at Peebles Farm, Virginia, October 1, 1864. Entered service at New York. Born July 9, 1841, Germany. Date of issue December 12, 1898. Citation. At the imminent risk of his own life, while his regiment was falling back before a superior force of the enemy, he dragged a wounded and helpless officer to the rear, thus saving him from death or capture. See also: List of Medal of Honor recipients. List of American Civil War Medal of Honor recipients. Q.S. Puerto Rican Campaign. Notes. References: Arlington National Cemetery. Retrieved October 5, 2010. Harriman, Carl Stephen. From Yoko to Las Marias. Retrieved October 5, 2010. Theodore Schwan. Claim to Fame. Medal of Honor recipients. Find a grave. Retrieved March 19, 2010. External links Works by or about Theodore Schwan at Internet Archive.